All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at chromosome number. As you are watching this video, I need you to make sure that you fill out the notes. It's on Schoology. Just fill out the blank parts in a different font color as you go along. All right, so there are some structures that are really important when our cells divide. Here is a picture of a cell. Here in this circle, the circular purple, in color is the nucleus, and the outside of the nucleus is called a nuclear envelope or membrane. Now remember, inside the nucleus is where our DNA is. Now usually our DNA is all stringy, but when we need to go ahead and divide our cells, we actually have them in these X-like structures called chromosomes. So all of these X's, some are bigger, some are smaller. That's just our DNA, and it takes that form after we've copied our DNA. And those are called chromosomes. So each one of these chromosomes have different sizes or shapes, and each one holds different information about you. So one chromosome might hold information about your hair color, another chromosome might hold information about your eye color or your skin color, or if you have if you will have a disease or not. Now, if we take a look over here, here is the chromosome, and you can see there's a yellow part and a blue part, and each side is just the same exact information. That's when we copied our DNA when we're about to divide our cells. So each part, the yellow part and the blue part, they're called chromatids. And they're just exact information, exact copy of each other. Now, if you see here in the middle, the two chromatids, the one in the yellow and the blue, they're held together in the center with a structure called a centromere. So I know there's a lot of vocabulary here, but you can think centromere, it's at the center of the chromosome. It holds those two chromatids together. Now we're going to be taking a look at these structures, but we're specifically going to look at chromosomes and the number of chromosomes that are in our cells. Now, we have different types of cells in our bodies. We have somatic cells, which are your body cells. So cells in your hair, your skin, cells that make up parts of your leg, things like that. They are diploid. Now, when you think of the word diploid, the prefix di means two. So when you think of your body cells, you think it's diploid. It has two sets of chromosomes in there, in each and every one of those body cells that you have. What do I mean by that? Well, one set of the chromosomes, one set of your information came from your dad's side. And the other set of information or your other set of chromosomes came from your mom's side. So that's what I mean by your body cells are made up of not only your dad's information, but your mom's information. That's why you have two sets of chromosomes. Now, when it comes to gametes, those are our sex cells like egg and sperm, they are haploid. When you think of the word haploid, think half, because they don't have two sets of chromosomes. They're only going to have one set of chromosomes. So for instance, the sperm is only going to have dad's information, dad's half of his information. The egg that comes from mom, it's only going to have her set of chromosomes. So when we think of sex cells, we're only think they're haploid. That means they only have one set of chromosomes. Well, how does that look like in humans? This is not just in humans, but it's in other animals and plants. They also have somatic cells and gametes. So let's take a look at this. In humans, humans have 23 chromosomes. So for the sperm. So for here's the sperm. It has only dad's set of chromosomes. He has 23. So within those 23 chromosomes, it has information about his hair, his skin color, his eye color, whether he has a disease or not, things like that. For human eggs, mom will only have her set of chromosomes. So she's also going to have 23, and those 23 chromosomes will have her information about her hair color, her eye color, and so on. Now, when the egg and the sperm join together, that's called fertilization. And if you see here, this is the egg and the sperm joining. And when that happens, it starts to divide and make the first few cells of the baby, which is called a zygote. So these cells, that are here, they're not only going to have dad's information, dad's chromosomes, but they're going to have mom's information or chromosomes. So that's why these cells that will make up the baby's body will have not 23 chromosomes, but will have 46. The reason why is because, like we said, these body cells are diploid. That means it has mom's information and dad's information. So we're going to add both number of chromosomes together. Now let's take a look at how we can calculate the number of chromosomes are in either a body cell or a sex cell. Now, when we think of a haploid or sex cell, we're representing as 1N. So N talks about the number of chromosomes that are in that cell, and 1 would represent that it's only coming from one organism, one individual, since it's coming from their sex cell, their egg or their sperm. When we take a look at diploid or our body cells, remember it's our body cells have both sets of chromosomes from mom and dad. So we'll represent the number of chromosomes in a diploid cell with 2N. So N would be the number of chromosomes, but 2 would represent that those chromosomes are coming from two individuals, the mom and the dad. So let's take a look at these different organisms. Each one of these different organisms has a different number of chromosomes, either in their gamete, their sex cell, or their body cell, their somatic cell. So here, remember, gametes, we represent their haploid and we represent the number of chromosomes as 1N. So if 1N is 23 chromosomes, that's how many chromosomes are in an egg or a sperm of a human. Okay, how many chromosomes are in the body cell of a human? Let's say their eyes, cells in their eyes or cells in their skin. How many chromosomes would there be? Well, if 1N is equal to 23, I'm just going to take that given number and multiply it by 2, because now we're getting chromosomes from both mom and dad. So we're multiplying it by 2. Now an onion, its somatic cells, its body cell, let's say its cells in the leaves or the stem or the roots, okay? It has 16 chromosomes in each one of those cells. But how many chromosomes are in the onion's sex cells? Well, because gametes are haploid, they're half the number of chromosomes as there would be in the body cell. We're just going to take 2N is equal to 16. We're going to cut it in half because it's a haploid cell. Those sex cells are haploid, so it's 8. Cats have 19 chromosomes in their gamete in either their egg or sperm. So how many would be in their somatic cells, their body cells? Let's say the cells in their whiskers or their tail or their fur. Well, since 1N is equal to 19, that means 2N, I would just multiply it, and 2N would represent 38. That's how many chromosomes are in the somatic cell of a cat. Cherries have 12 chromosomes in their gametes or their sex cells. So how many chromosomes are in their body cells? So because you can think of their body cells as their stem, things like that, anything that makes part of the body of the cherry. So 2N will be 24. We're doubling it. Lastly, okay, if the fly has 8 chromosomes in its, let's say, somatic or body cells, like its eye or its wing or its legs, how many chromosomes are in a fly's sex cell in either its egg or sperm? Well, since it's haploid, we're going to cut it in half. We're going to cut the given number in half, and it would be 8. I'm sorry, 4. So when we take a look at mitosis, there's 2 different ways that our cells divide. Mitosis is a type of cell division that makes 2 cells at the end every single time we do it. And each of those cells are diploid. Each one of those cells, they get mom's information and dad's information. And this is only for somatic or body cells. Now, here's a memory clue. When you think of the word mitosis, I can hear my toes. So you think, when you think of mitosis, think my toes, because this is a type of cell division that makes my body cells like the cells in my toes. Now, We also have sex cells, our egg and sperm. Now, this is not done by mitosis because mitosis only divides body cells. So we have another process called meiosis, and it's a type of cell division. And at the end, every single time we do meiosis, we make 4 cells at the end. We either get 4 egg or 4 sperm. And each one of those cells at the end are haploid. They're half the number of chromosomes as there would be in body cells because it's only going to show either mom's information in the eggs or dad's information in the sperm. Now, meiosis is a type of cell division that's only for gametes or sex cells. So this type of cell division doesn't divide our cells in our ears or cells in our, our heart, things like that. It's only for egg and sperm. Now, when you think of meiosis, I see the word me in meiosis. So when you think of that, think of the word me because since meiosis divides sex cells, which are egg and sperm, when the egg and sperm join, they make me. So that's the difference between mitosis and meiosis. The number of cells that are made at the end, if they're diploid or haploid, and also the type of cells that are divided. And next time we see each other, we're going to focus more on meiosis. How do we make 4 cells? Okay, and how do we make more of these sex cells? Make sure you go ahead and fill out the notes in a different color, finish the practice problems on the last page of that Google Doc, and then submit it.